What's happening, everybody? It's your buddy Griz, and happy spring! Yes, spring patch for Battlefield 4 was released, or I guess went live a few days ago, and DICE saw fit to grace us with a bunch of new weapons, including this guy, which I am super excited for, and which will be the topic of this week's Guns with Griz, the AN-94. And while not necessarily the topic of conversation this video, it's I think I should mention that included in the patch was a bunch of new mechanic fixes, and I say that subjectively because I'm specifically talking about the head glitching fix, or so they call it. It seems to have caused more problems than it's solved, I think, but that's just me. Anyways, that's a topic for another video. This video we're going to focus on the AN-94, one of the new weapons introduced in the patch, and the reason why I mentioned the mechanic fixes is because we've got new damage models for most of the weapons in the game as well. Now, most of the assault rifles do a maximum damage of 24.5, which is a little different than what it was originally. I think it was 24, just flat out 24. But anyways, that's changed. And yeah, let's start looking at the AN-94 here. And I apologize in advance if this video seems a little less organized, but I usually like write down notes or things that I want to touch on about the weapon that I'm reviewing, but this time I decided to just wing it and freeball it, as we say. So I apologize if it seems a little unorganized, but hey, I'm just trying something new here. So anyways, let's get down to brass tacks and let's look at the stats from Synthic.com on the AN-94. Alright, so the AN-94 is so new it doesn't even have a picture yet. Look at the broken link. That's hilarious. Anyways, the AN-94 will do its maximum damage of 24.5 within 12.5 meters. After that, damage begins to drop off, ending at 60 meters, where it will do its minimum damage of 18. The magazine size is 30 plus 1 in the chamber for 31 total, and the reload times are 3.5 seconds when empty and 2.4 seconds with a round in the chamber. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. The rate of fire on automatic fire mode is 600 rounds per minute. Nothing to write home about. But on its special 2-round burst fire mode, the AN-94 is capable of going up to 1200 rounds per minute, so double that. I say capable because you really need to master the rhythm of tapping the trigger to get those rounds to come out at that speed. And at the same time, when you're mastering the rhythm, you need to watch out that you don't throw your aim off too badly as well. Which brings me to my next point. The recoil on the AN-94 I would put in the medium-high area, because it does kind of kick fairly aggressively. But it's all straight vertical, especially on burst fire mode, so it's really easy to control. So right away, I can tell you guys that the AN-94 is built for range. Medium to long range combat is where this guy excels. There is not a whole lot you can do in close quarters to make this thing better. I mean, I would assume that's what the automatic fire mode, the fully auto mode, is there for close quarters, but the fact that you can actually get it firing faster in its burst mode anyway kind of negates that whole train of thought. Really, I don't see any reason why you should be using the automatic fire mode on the AN-94, because the burst fire just works better in all situations, especially at range. If you can land a couple consecutive headshots with the AN-94, your enemy is, I'm guaranteeing you guys he's down. 2 headshots at the longest range and he will be down. And it's for those reasons that I would really recommend playing a more not laid back, but a more defensive or supportive role when you're using the AN-94. Stay back behind your teammates and revive them and provide them with health, because running up on the front lines and trying to like Rambo it and close quarters gunfights with everyone on the map is just not going to go in your favor. I guarantee you will end up dying a lot more than you would like if you're trying to use this gun in any sort of close quarters only setting. Now, there was a time in Battlefield 3 when you could run around with the AN-94 and absolutely wreck everyone. Didn't matter if it was close quarters or not. But if you're if you're asking yourself that question, is the AN-94 in Battlefield 4 as good as it was in Battlefield 3? The answer is definitely no. I don't find that this version is as dominating as it was in Battlefield 3, but if you play like this, like I am here, staying back behind cover, engaging enemies at range, I think you'll still have a lot of success with it, and I think you'll still really enjoy using it. It's just, it's not what it was in Battlefield 3. It definitely wasn't. Just keep that in mind. So let's talk about the setup that I was using right here. This is probably my favorite setup that I've tried with the AN-94 so far. Now, I haven't unlocked every attachment for the AN-94, but I have tried enough of the short range and medium range sights and a couple of the different grips that I found that this combination was pretty much the best. And that is a 3.4 times optic, just because that's my favorite medium range. I prefer the 3.4 to the 4s, but that's just me. Here I'm using the PSO sight, I think, and I rather like that one. I really like the circular reticle. Actually, here I'm using the iron sights because this is, I think, one of the first games that I played with it. I really like the iron sights too. I don't know what it is about that little box type iron sight, but I don't know. It gives me a little Black Ops 2 nostalgia. I think that's what it is. Anyways, moving on. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the accessory. I believe I used the laser sight for the most part so far, but that's because I think it's the only real worthwhile accessory I've got unlocked for it so far. But more importantly, the grip and the barrel attachment. Here's where you can really make the AN-94 work the way you want it to. Personally, I prefer the angled grip and the heavy barrel. What this does is makes your burst fire mode really, really accurate, and the angled grip will help alleviate some of the recoil that you gain from the heavy barrel. And another thing I think that's worth mentioning about the AN-94 that I already kind of touched on a bit, but is the pretty much completely vertical recoil that it has. You're not going to have to worry about side-to-side sway too much. Just worry about pulling down on your mouse a little bit or pushing up if you're inverted like me when you're burst firing to help stay on target. But really, you don't even have to worry about it too much. If you're burst firing at the right rate, your sights will sort of just fall back into place naturally. But now it's time to do that thing we do and put the AN-94 on the scale of badassery. And I'm going to give the AN-94 a 7. A 7 because it's really good, but it could be better, and I'm kind of disappointed that it's not better. So disappointed that I almost gave it a 6.5, but I thought I'd be generous just because I love this thing. And it is still really good, don't get me wrong, guys. You will not, I don't think you'll have too many complaints about the AN-94. Anyways, that's where she lands, and that's where she's gonna be. But that's going to do it for me this week on Guns with Griz. Thank you all for joining me once again. And if you like the video and if you'd like to show it a little love, you can always do so by clicking that like button down below. I sure appreciate it when you do. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see next week. I know I kind of ignored everybody and just did a weapon, but it was new. It felt right. Anyways, let me know what you want to see next week, guys. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe and take part in the fun. My name's Griz. I love you, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Peace!
Alright,